MSD podcast, Relentless Actions On. A European CQC, combat and counter engagement, are complete strategies to ensure employed actions on are not just stop and start. The primary unarmed long-range stamp kicks are not retracted, and their travel line is diagonally downward through the lower leg to the ground. Our close-range unarmed offensive assault striking skills combinations comprise of multiple fast and hard boots, tracking forward, ground cover, and as many entry strikes as it takes to injure, incapacitate, cause distraction, interfere with visual and mental focus, providing opportunity for a side stance and guard, swivel transition to a front stance and guard, employed finishing skills. The ranges are extremely close to maximize threat neutralization objective achievement. Both long and close range unarmed offensive assault skills comprise of full same system cohesive contingency options included in the individual skills full strategies. Stamp kicking entry initiation is inside 1 meter, with the stamp kick loading and employment being 30 centimeters from the enemy's lead boot. Close range striking combinations are initiated and executed from 30 centimeters or less from the enemy's lead boot. The combatant must be trained to relentlessly continue to engage the enemy post-primary skill employment for as many meters as required by continuous orientating and hard tracking, closing and contacting with the enemy by armed or unarmed means and methods. By straight line actions on, I mean enemy orientating, alignment actions and continuation, armed or unarmed assault skills employments. It's all about enhancing and developing a relentless, hard-tracking, uncompromising, as fluid and seamless actions on employment until the objective of threat neutralization has been achieved. Momentum reduction, hesitation and stalling is risk increasing. The combatant's mentality and means must be combined, mind and skills empowered in a single relentless actions on employment or by relentless counter-engagement, either evasive counter-engagement or stationary counter-engagement. Systems being based on full strategies from making range through to initiation and primary skills employment and fast mapping assessment and execution of contingency options to minimize momentum reduction and prevent hesitation or stalling is the modus operandi. It can't be overemphasized the importance of strategies and contingencies options being same system, sharing commonality and being cohesive fluid actions, continuations that not only maintain momentum and output velocity, but increase momentum and output. This is important in kill or die battlefield actions on where hesitation, stalling, or momentum reduction or loss can hand opportunity to the enemy. This is a different modus operandi to, say, our combat sports school training, where there are rules, officials, safety factors built in, and the objective is not kill or die. The battlefield in an actions on is all in and all on action to neutralize the enemy before they can do the same to you. This is why it is so important that the combined actions are same systems, fit for purpose, cohesive actions that share commonality. Combatants, through fully understanding actions on requirements and realities, can fast map assess at real time under actions on and decide on ongoing hostilities, best means and methods of threat neutralization objective achievement. The requirements of fast mapping assessment decision making are simple: range, skill, commitment, empowered by a war mindset, willing, able, ready. Correct range, correct best threat neutralization, skills, CQC, mentally tough, uncompromising commitment, all increase the chances of safest, most effective threat neutralization. These strategies and contingencies self-identify under actions on realities by the threat changes, the combatant to enemy range, and other factors. Importantly, contingency options to close on the enemy and make range are fluid, momentum increasing actions. All skills, employments, strategies and contingencies have built-in hard protection, including hard cover guarding. To simply employ a single strike, kick or short combination in a battlefield actions on and stop is life endangering, as well as the enemy's deadly intentions and capabilities. There are the environmental hazards and risks. There are not the safety surfaces and surroundings of our competitive codes, and often the combatant's footprint is close, tight, and includes hard surfaces, sharp edges, protrusions, and risk related to battlefield and urban environments. Then there are weapons, vehicles, and multiple enemy assaulter considerations. The CQC strategies and contingencies in our European MIL CQC include non-ballistic weapons, drawing and usage, as well as CQB ballistic weapons. The same fluid, hard protection tactics apply to the introduction of weapons options and threats. The modus operandi of CQC threat neutralization includes the primary timeframe objective of 1 to 3 seconds from actions on initiation to threat neutralization. The strategies and contingencies provide required capability from the moment of enemy threat identification and throughout the assessment, decision-making, initiation, and employment of skills until the threat is neutralized. Making range strategies and contingencies are vital, including with the CQC ranges being so close and including from inside arm's reach in the kill zone to point-blank body contact range. The combatant is never really unarmed in our European MIL CQC, as boots, battle dress, including hard helmets and other hard protectors, are weapons in their own rights. CQC training practice under full strategies and contingencies, including enemy training per hard testing combatants, hard cover guard protection, is all part of toughness and sickness training to ensure the combatant is up for the challenges of close quarters actions on. This not only enhances safety, but also builds confidence in skills employments. From initiating, stalking into range, the combatant has fast mapping, real-time primary options, assessment and decision-making primary practices included in their strategies arsenal that provide increases in momentum, enemy stopping output velocity. On making range, distractive, loading, and initiation actions provide increased safety and increased chances of threat neutralization. The contingency option to deal with immediate changes in threat and situation by means of fast mapping assessment and real-time decision making is by taking into account enemy range, position, and any category of threat type changes, enabling immediate employment of fluid same system contingency options without hesitation or stalling. Stance and guard transitions include offensive actions to ensure there is no drop in hostilities or openings for the enemy to exploit. It is important that changes in option under actions on are not only straight line options but also directional changes options with the same cohesive fluid actions provisions. From skill initiation, continuously maintaining or increasing momentum, combining contingency options by hard boots, ground cover, engagement, or enemy orientation, and maintaining ground cover momentum combined with unarmed offensive assault or unarmed counteroffensive assault required capabilities is the training objective of our CQC actions on. Contingencies capabilities must cover probable likelihoods, including complete changes in threat, like from an unarmed threat to a non-ballistic armed threat, having same foundation fundamentals in stances, guards, ground cover, and ground clearing, backed up by threat neutralization skills that are same system, fit for role and purpose is most important. I reiterate, range, skill, commitment, war, willing, able, ready is the required mindset and modus operandi of best of proven, safest means of overkill threat neutralization. Regardless of if it is combat, unarmed offensive assault actions, or evasive or stationary counter-engagement, same systems principle-based practices provide increased chances of quickest continuation threat neutralization. A mixed bag of various styles techniques predominantly do not provide cohesive fluid actions maintaining or increasing momentum if they do not fit well fluidly together. Fit for purpose, MIL CQC, threat neutralization, complete strategies with full contingencies increased chances of threat neutralization without having to endure extended hostilities and the likelihood of having to overcome enemy actions and regain dominance. MIL CQC develops skills by MIL Master and Master Chief Instructors having same system full strategies and contingencies as part of the individual skill development and confirming as a MIL CQC tradecraft accepted skill have been put through rigorous testing under a range of situations and scenarios, including different environments, to ensure they provide best chances of threat neutralization. Uncompromising, relentless actions on training, both by combat unarmed offensive assault and counter engagement unarmed counter-offensive assault, must develop practical hands and boots on relentless threat neutralization. This requires both our brain to boot mental toughness and primary best of battle proven uncompromising foul or deadly skills empowered by full strategies and contingencies. Entry level and enabling level MIL CQC training, the combatant will be introduced and put through wide-ranging training means and methods to develop intestinal fortitude, inner resolve, as well as increasing in skills capabilities. From lanes to battle handling exercises, dark night training, and the objective of enemy threat neutralization training on difficult terrain, including ANFIB, CQC, and MSD training, is all-encompassing to ensure the combatant is familiar with the requirements of threat neutralization for different roles under wide-ranging situations, and importantly, by same system, cohesive fluid action means and methods. An important means of developing relentless, uncompromising actions on is by CQC lanes, including straight and crossover lanes, as well as zigzag enemy orientation lanes. Combatant and enemy per lanes objectives are for the combatant to get the enemy per on the back foot and keep them backpedaling until the objective of threat neutralization has been achieved. The enemy per's objectives are to counter-engage by evasive, static, or combat unarmed offensive assault actions, means that include, for example, high output continuation options, executions, and for unarmed counter-offensive assault, evasive or static counter-engagement, continuous actions until the threat is no more. Contingency options also include static threat neutralization by armed and unarmed means, with the unarmed means and methods being stationary unarmed offensive assault attack combinations to disarm, disable, and dispose of the threat. These combinations, like with contingency options to hard boots, chase, and contact with the enemy, are all about ravaging the enemy by means of combinations developed to exploit openings and weaknesses relentlessly with fluid actions that cohesively share commonality by means of both economy of movement and often utilization of extension and retraction actions to contact with the enemy. Such combinations have been developed on autonomic reactions to sudden aggressive shock action setups, as well as enemy deliberate responses under such threats. It is most important for primary practices to be relentless and never stop or start, stall or hesitate. Less is more, and it comes down to best of battle proven, overkill, safest means of enemy threat neutralization. Training the military CQC way equates to training in and practicing the very skills necessary for an actions on threat neutralization and training in them with controlled, calculated, deliberate aggression. It is important for combatants to remember that unlike the movies, when two formidable combatants tangle in an actions on, they will both do everything they can to defeat their enemy and make themselves as protected as possible. This being the case, when compromised, it is very important that the combatant's arsenal includes contingency options to deal with escalating situations or changing situations at real time. The addition and execution of contingency options must be momentum increasing, and the reason why many of the European MIL CQC contingency option skills are executed from side on is simply because it reduces target mass and increases expedient action, meaning you can close and contact on the enemy as quickly as possible while maintaining high-level, hard-cover guard self-protection. Skills mastering takes considerable time and involves high repetition practice at high momentum and velocity outputs. The combining of CQC mental toughness enhancement combined with CQC primary skills threat neutralization must be a seamless, fluid combination of both, for without high-level mental toughness enhancement and best of battle-proven primary practices executed with hard cover guarding self-protection, the combatant is not best prepared, willing, able and ready to threat neutralize a formidable enemy.